Hi everyone. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Steph Linden and I am the creative director for Infinite Rainbow's Mindfulness group for kids. And I just wanted to take a couple minutes to introduce myself and kind of explain how all of this came to fruition. Well, many of you guys know me from my years of teaching. I have taught special ed, early childhood, elementary, as long as I can remember, nicknamed the Pied Piper at age 5. I love kids. More importantly, I love families, and I love how families operate. One thing I truly enjoy seeing is how unique a family unit is and what unique traits a child brings to the table. With that said, throughout my years of teaching, I've noticed that we're seeing an increase in kiddos coming up that lack the self-regulating strategies in the classroom that we once had. This leads to a lot of reactive behaviors, children in crisis, and we're not quite sure why. What I'm discovering through working and collaborating with a lot of beautiful experts in our community, psychotherapists, yoga instructors, doctors, friends of different modalities, is that we all have imbalances, and whether they're physical or emotional. And when we have a hard time connecting language to that imbalance, it conducts a behavior or it conducts a reaction. And in many children, we tell them, use your words. But if they don't have a word to describe the imbalance they're feeling, or better yet, having a stable toolbox to establish, oh, here's something I can do for this imbalance, it leads to an alternative form of communication, which may or may not be the most effective or appropriate method for the environment that they're in. And then we as educators try to help our parents out, because our parents are coming to us frustrated and tired and wanting answers. And then we as educators are being given all these great tools, but that's just it. We're being given tools and not necessarily understanding, one, if the kids have a toolbox in the first place to store those tools, or two, if those are an effective tool for a particular child in the first place. I call it the ruler technique. We're kind of throwing a ruler at a kid saying, yeah, here's a tool. But if they've never used one before or aren't quite sure how to use it themselves, or if we as educators aren't sure about the correct method on how to instruct this child on how to use it because their learning strategy might be different, we're not setting them up for success. We're just giving them another tool for a toolbox they may not have. So I've really spent the past 6 months kind of formulating and really thinking about what can we do as a society to help build these skills for our kids. More importantly, provide resources and a toolbox, a foundation for our families, so that everyone can practice together. And that's where Infinite Rainbows kind of comes in, where the rainbow technique, hopefully, is in the works, but give me about 1.5 years to kind of finish that up. But that's where Infinite Rainbows and the rainbow technique kind of come into play. We're trying to give that pre-assessment, post-assessment tool for these parents, kind of seeing what modalities are effective, and more importantly, adding a multi-sensory component. We already know in academic world that the more senses we incorporate in a lesson, the higher the level of retention and resonance that lesson will have on a child. Well, we focus a lot on sight and hearing, but what about our other senses? And more importantly, what about proprioception and vestibular senses? These are two things that are critical for body awareness, those imbalances that our friends are feeling. But if they have no body awareness whatsoever, I mean, you see kids stumbling over themselves all the time. Why? Because their minds are so full of everything else. They have no body awareness or connection to themselves to control what's happening here. And then again, that goes back to that toolbox piece. It all plays a part. It is all combined. So my hope is to provide an additional resource to our community through my business in any way I can. So we're offering programs at various places right now. We're open for in-school field trips, after-school programs. We'd love to reach out and help in any way we can. Again, thanks for tuning in. Love and light, guys. Bye.